Elgato chat link, which is the worst fucking invention ever made by man. The chat link is so bad that Elgato had to make a chat link pro, and I bet even that piece of shit is garbage. But an audio jack wire is the least of your worries with a worthless, shitty, fucked up, dick-licking, money-stealing, ugly logo-looking, non-refundable, having no titties and flat-ass company like Elgato. Some of the best products Elgato has to offer are either shorthanded in the most basic of areas, are useless to have, or don't fucking work. And that's coming from somebody who owns many Elgato products. I bought the Elgato HD60, then I bought the HD60 Pro for my desktop, and finally the chat link because I use console so much. And I can safely say that I've had issues with each product at least once and upwards of 10 times throughout the years. Let's start with the Elgato HD60. Of all game captures to just not make any sense, it's the Elgato HD60. For starters, I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure the HD60 is no longer even being produced, which is a step up, but I'm almost certain that it's only because the 4K 60 and 4K 60 Pros were released. But the HD60 is just an odd contraption that should have never existed considering the HD60S being released alongside it. What was the difference between the two, you may be asking? The HD60S had live video feedback, whereas the HD60 had delayed video feedback for recording. The problems with the delay are so bad, especially if you're a streamer, because of the drastic difference between the recording and your live mic input, that there were videos addressing these in which people using OBS had to put a delay in their microphones in order to sync with the footage. And that was a bitch to get right, since the delay was always different by a few milliseconds, so you had to find the middle ground to establish proper sync. And if there's one person you want to hear that from, it's me. I did an entire fucking Let's Play on that piece of shit. And if you were upset by this and wanted to buy the HD60S, it was more expensive than the HD60. No major differences other than the live feedback, which I'll admit that didn't even work every now and again, but it was upwards of 50 bucks more expensive. Then there's the HD60 Pro, which is what I have for my desktop. Ironically, the HD60 Pro isn't that bad, but one thing I've had an issue with when it comes to this and all other Elgato capture cards I've had is connectivity. I don't know why, but these issues have existed for ages, and they're inconsistent, so the chances of finding a permanent solution are slim to none, but luckily I don't experience them as often as I used to, so there's a plus. The 4K capture cards are pretty fucking useless if I'm being honest, but that's a personal thing because I'm not a gaming YouTuber, I'm a commentary one, so if you're a gamer, maybe this would be a good option. Then there are the Elgato products that just don't make any sense. The Stream Deck, for example. The premise of a Stream Deck is that it has extra buttons that you can label for your stream to add ease to transitioning or using sounds. This sounds like a great idea until you realize who Elgato devices are made for, because they're not for PC users. Their game captures are for console. If you're using an Elgato device for your PC recordings, you're a fucking idiot. So the Stream Deck's purpose only works for PC users. If you're a console streamer, there's no point in purchasing this when you have an entire PC keyboard at your disposal. And if you're a musician with a PC, you probably have a MIDI piano keyboard and you could use that too. The green screen, yes, Elgato has a fucking green screen, is useless because you could just buy a different brand screen for cheaper than $160 fucking dollars. Elgato has a light stand for $200 when it can cost about half or less. Base cams worth $200, old ass video capture cards for PCs worth almost $90, a shitty audio mixer interface that costs $160 even though the Focusrite Scarlett Solo costs less than that and has more features. Literally everything in Elgato's arsenal is either way too expensive and could cost less elsewhere, has technical issues and doesn't work at all, or works fine but gets overshadowed by everything else. And as for the second part, it's time to talk about the main attraction to this earthquake of shitty proportions, the Elgato chat link. Costing a mere $9.99, the chat link is the most useless piece of technological trash since Edison was born. When I first purchased this, it worked as intended. The audio was heading to the capture card and it was working for my headset, which at the time was a Razer Kraken. But then I tried to use my microphone to talk to some friends. It didn't work. For some stupid fucking reason, using your microphone with the chat link is impossible. I don't know why, I just know it is. Even worse, the chat link doesn't work with certain headsets, including wireless ones, which is just a fucking tragedy. And I don't mean using your mic like recording with your headset mic. I mean you can't even go into a party and talk to your friends with your mic. It's impossible. If you want an alternative to the chat link, you can either buy an audio jack splitter, or if you have a wireless headset, have a second controller, sign in on a second account, have them join the party if you want to record with your friends, and connect a two-way male audio jack from the second controller to the capture card. All because the chat link doesn't fucking work. It got so bad that, as I mentioned earlier in the video, they made a second version of the fucking thing, and it still doesn't work with most setups. Many of you might be wondering why the hell none of this has been talked about, and the answer is because of two things: marketing and money. Elgato has such a stronghold over the industry of video products that you're more likely to bump into Elgato facts than you are into actual websites or forums like Reddit discussing the very issues you're having. Moreover, Elgato is the biggest video production company right now, so the options at your disposal have or will soon dwindle in a market that's impossible to keep up with. This puts innovation in the backseat for more favorable profits, practically forcing you to buy products that are ridiculously overpriced for reasons unknown by God himself. And then there are the sponsorships that many creators have with Elgato that just expand their reach to audiences that are trying to grow and become better as a result of constant competition in the industry of content creation. Hell, I sound hypocritical as someone who owns Elgato products, but what other options are there that are mainstream and easy to access for the casual person looking to start their newfound hobby? There isn't one. Elgato's reach over content creating and video production is hilariously huge, and that's what makes their prices and advertising. Or maybe I'm just going crazy. Happens every now and again. Thank you for tuning into day 2. I get it? See what I did? Oh, fuck all of you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to do all the things Elgato sheep like to do and subscribe, because why not? Tomorrow we're going to be kicking some ass on a old friend. Make sure to tune in for tomorrow's episode of the 12 Days of Christmas, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
Wanna put